Check. Check. Is this working now? Is the microphone working? I think so. At least one of the microphones is working. Hello, guys. Welcome to this video. I'm just going to wait a few minutes and see if anyone's online. And please let me know if the microphone is working or not. This is my second attempt. I'm going to cut this part of the video out later. But what I thought we would do today is test out the Oracle dual boiler. But let me just wait a minute here. Is the audio working? Hello, guys. Oh, audio's working. Great. Then I'm going to start the video now. There's just two people online. Hello, Peter. Hello, Elias. Nice to see you guys. You know, I thought I'm just going to try and see if this Oracle dual boiler by Sage or by Breville, depending where you're at in the world, if I can make a soup on it. Now, to give you a little background, hi, Claudio. I am not really a filter coffee guy, not really a pour over coffee guy. I really like just a traditional kind of standard Italian espresso. That's my favorite. But I've been trying soups once in a while, and we'll just see, you know, how they are. So let's do a couple of things. We're going to see, can the Sage Oracle dual boiler, can it actually grind something that's on the lighter side of medium? What does the retention look like? Because I got the grinder up there, it's empty. And then since we can go in advanced mode here, just by flipping up, I can just leave it on pre-infusion, and then it should stay right around 1 bar or so. So let's see what we can do for a soup. And thanks for joining me. Nice to see you guys online. If you don't mind, write where you're watching from. I always like to read the comments, and also give the video a like so that more people can see it. So anyhow, let's just have a look here. What kind of beans am I working with? These are from a brand called 5 Elephant. These are a bean from, that's a little bit higher elevation, 1,200 meters. And they're supposed to have red grape, yellow apple, and mint flavors. I never got any mint out of it, but let's just see what we can get. Anyhow, if we take a look at the beans, let's see, that's what they look like right there. So for me, these are lighter than what I normally would do, but I got 18.1 grams of beans here measured out, and we're going to put it here in the Oracle dual boiler, and I've got it set at a grind setting of 35 here, which is a pretty coarse grind setting. So let's just do that. I need to get a little water first. Okay. And if you guys have any questions about this Oracle dual boiler, write them here and I'll try to answer them online. So far, I'm having fun using this guy, and yeah, I'll be doing a full review on it soon enough. So here we go. I've got my, this is my Time More right here, Time More Black Mirror scale. Still a really nice scale, nice and big, so it's easy to place stuff on there. So what I'm going to do is just tear that guy out, and then we're going to put the beans in there. Here we go. Hopefully the video looks all right. So right now, it's the grinder is empty. The grinder hopper is empty, I should say. I'm going to put these beans in, and we'll see what we get out. Just like that. Here we go. All right, I think it got them all. That time it didn't actually tamp properly. That's the first time I've seen that happen on this one. And actually I got more out, so there must have been a little retention from before. So that's a little bit too bad. Oh well. Anyhow, I'm going to take my tamper here and just give it a little tamp. You know, it's pretty coarsely ground. Let's see here. Get the angle set. Oh, nope, that's not what I want. Turn back around. All right, here we go. So anyway, that's a pretty coarse grind, as you can see there. It's 18.5 grams. And we're going to stick that into the machine next. And I'll show you what I've been doing. So that in the machine, I'm going to tear out my skill right away. Now, the cool thing, what you can do here with this dual boiler, and what I think is funny is it's really not very prominent, dual boiler. You got to actually look for it where the text is. But anyway, what you can do here in this advanced mode is you can start the shot. It's going to start in pre-infusion. And so I got 18 in there. I'm going to aim for about 55 grams or so out. Hopefully I can do it. And if you just hit the button once, it will stay in pre-infusion. So here we go. I'm hoping it's going to stay around 1 bar. I tried this once before, and it did stay right around 1 bar. And that's what it looks like coming out. It doesn't look super appetizing if you're used to normal espresso. But yeah, 1.5 bars or so. I'm going to stop it right there. And we got 58 out or so. So about a 1-to-3 ratio. And you're going to see it, whoop, it's kind of cloudy. You know, maybe I could have used a filter or something. I don't actually have filters that fit that just right, but that's what it looks like. And so a soup is supposed to be something kind of like, I guess, a truncated pour over. And let's just see how it tastes. So it is an interesting shot. Let me give it one more sip. It is an interesting shot because it's really fruity. To me, it tastes a lot like green apples. So not that sweet like a yellow apple or like a red grape. More like maybe a green grape or green apple. But it's definitely kind of interesting. It's obviously more syrupy than what a pour over would be, but it doesn't have that kind of texture, obviously, like what a normal espresso has. So for me, it's interesting to try out. I think for some lighter roast beans, it's probably pretty cool, but I don't know if this is going to become my drink of choice. I still really prefer just a nice kind of traditional Italian, normal Italian kind of espresso. But nevertheless, interesting experiment. And the reason I wanted to do it is to kind of show the retention on the grinder. I did this just before the video and I got 0.2 grams of retention. This time actually more came out. So, okay, you could call it displacement. The first time it was like 0.2 grams of displacement. This time it was plus 0.4 grams. So it does vary a little bit, but all things considered for an integrated grinder machine, not that bad. And yeah, if you grind coarse enough and leave it in the pre-infusion mode, you can actually run it right around 1 bar. So you can play with that a bit. And I do think that's a nice feature. Let's see, answering some questions. I noticed your unboxing video took you 15 minutes on your first shot. So I think that's partially user error. I'm used to having to make these burrs tighter on all the other machines, the Breville Barista Express, Express Impress, the Pro, all of the 54 millimeter machines, you actually have to change the inner burr from 6 down to 3. And I thought you'd have to do the same thing here, but it turns out that just made it too fine. And that's why it took me a bit longer to find the actual, decent dial-in setting during that video. So since then, I've gone from 3 back up to 6 on the machine. And for espresso, I'm somewhere around a grind size of 20 now. So you really don't have to screw around with the inner burr on these Oracle machines. It will always fail to tamp if it's too coarse. I just tried this. This is only the second attempt at soup on this machine. The first time, it's too bad that I didn't have the camera on the first time because it did tamp. Actually tamped just fine. And you also have to consider I'm just dropping 18 grams of beans in there. So the grinder is supposed to kind of be used, you know, with a full hopper, at least with a fair amount of beans in the hopper. So I'm kind of using it in a way in which it wasn't really designed. But anyway, one time it tamped properly, second time it didn't. Would you choose between the DeLonghi Dedica and Hybrew H10B? I always kind of tend towards the Dedica simply because it's established. You got a ton of aftermarket spare parts and accessories, a lot of forum entries. There's whole Facebook pages dedicated to the Dedica. So it's hard for me to name a competitor in the same price range just because of that. I think the Hybrew performs well and it's a good competitor, but it's just a way, way smaller company. Peter wants to ask, what is my daily driver machine and my top choice for home use? Well, I can't really answer that, Peter, because I'm always testing out something new. And my poor wife, she's always dealing with different machine here on the counter. And actually what she said about this one is, oh, finally a machine that I know how to use again. Because she is used to Breville. She's used them before. It's got the screen. It's got animations. So I think the target group for this dual boiler is really just people who got a fair amount of money and don't want to put a lot of time into learning it. Or maybe a household like mine where we both like coffee, but one person doesn't want to spend that much time screwing around with the machine, and then another one might want to experiment more. So I think for that, the dual boiler is probably kind of good. But a daily driver machine for me, I don't really have one because I'm always testing. I still like the Gadget Classic Pro. I still think lever machines are fun to play with. I still really like the ECP. You know, you can make good espresso on just about any machine. You have to concentrate on the beans, on the water, on your puck prep. Hello up there to Brunswick. Anyway, well, how long is the video anyway? 12 minutes so far. Is there anything else you guys want to see here on the dual boiler? Well, I got you online. Otherwise, I may just quit this video. Just a quick one, kind of show it a little bit. I guess one thing that occurs to me I could show you is what you can do also if you don't want to use the integrated tamper fan, is you can just remove that guy and you can grind without it. So that way you can put the portafilter in there and you can grind and then do your own puck prep if you want. There we go. It's a pretty nice clean knockout. But I just want to show you, if you put it in there even without this tamper fan, it will still work. So that's kind of neat. You can experiment with that too. Not just on this one, but on the Oracle Jet as well. Dave writes, with the Jet, he always had problems with temperature stability and took at least 2 flushes to get the machine ready. Yeah, the dual boiler is much better. The reason is because you actually have boilers. So you have a boiler sitting right here, a 600 watt boiler. You got a larger boiler sitting back here, the steam boiler, and the whole machine is hotter for that reason. Like up here, it's quite hot on top, but also there's a heating element here too. So in the brew group, by the time the machine is heated up completely, it takes about 5 minutes. This is already getting pretty warm. Give it a couple more minutes after that, and it's hot. So yeah, this I would say is a more thorough heating of the entire machine, including the portafilter, than does the Jet. I found myself, I was testing the Jet, and it does have a little tiny heater here right underneath the shower screen. It's only about this big, that little heater. And that one took about 30 minutes to get the brew group and the portafilter warm if you didn't do any flushes. So it eventually does work, but it just takes too long, in my opinion. "40 people online. You know what? Maybe I'll put some beans in there, some normal ones, and make a cappuccino, and just show you guys that. And then I'll end the video. So oftentimes I experiment with these beans because they're not that expensive. This Lavazza Cremoso. You used to be able to get these for like 12, 15 euros. Now they're more expensive because beans everywhere become more expensive. But anyway, I've been down to 20 with these beans. And what's interesting about this machine, there's no dial on the side. So it's actually got a little motor inside that turns the grind setting. Now, as far as purging goes, all you have to do is double click on the icon and it will purge. So let me get a little plate. Like so, purge. You might want to purge one more time. So there we go. Now we should be at the fineness that I need for a normal espresso. And what else we might as well check is if I weigh this guy out, let's see what we get in here. So I've already adjusted on the inside. There's a screw and you can adjust that. I've adjusted it to get right around 18, 19 grams. And it's gotten better. Now it's between I'd say it's 19 grams plus minus 1 gram generally. Let's see what we get this time. You're gonna hear it spin first, then it's gonna grind, and then it's going to spin and tamp at the end. That took quite a long time there, so I don't know. Let's see, what did we get? 19.9 grams we got out. You can see right there. So it's a little more than what I was expecting. It's about plus or minus a gram, I'd say. We're gonna do the auto milk steaming on here. But anyhow, that's what it looks like when it comes out. And you can see there are some extra kind of grounds, usually on the side. If you blow it off, like that, then it's cleaner. And then we got 19.7 grams. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a cappuccino. We might as well do it in automatic mode. I'm using 1.5% milk. Oh, I got just a little bit of coffee grounds in the milk, unfortunately. Let's see. And what we're going to do actually is I'm going to switch this back to normal mode. Come on. We'll do a flat white, and let's see if you can see here. So on the double, it's aiming for 60 milliliters. We'll see where it ends up. I really don't know. It could be 60 milliliters plus or minus a certain amount. But the single is too little. So let's give this a shot and see what we get. Start the milk right away. And let's start the shot. Somebody asked if this machine is good for fresh beans. Heck yeah, it is. You can see actually, it's maybe just a little bit on the fine side there. I had it set at 20 before, and now it's a little fine for whatever reason. So there is some variation going back and forth. Anyway, that's what the milk looks like right there. The milk does better on this than on the Oracle Jet for sure. Okay.